Okay, I believe this is part 4. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. I'll find out when I throw it all on a playlist. But yeah, so, I mean, at some point, I remember feeling this very comforting, felt kind of like a blanket, like I was being slid under a very warm blanket. And I was just like, no, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think this is my time. This doesn't make any sense. You know, I'm not seeing a light. I'm not seeing any colors. I'm not seeing any kind of anything that I've researched. So this can't be my time. You know, and I remember feeling a very comforting presence. And I didn't hear the words with my ears. I felt them here, and I got the impression in my mind that everything was going to be okay. That this was just, another thing to learn from. And later I realized that, it's like every time I think about it, every time I think about my own life path, and everybody has their own, so mine is not like so-and-so's, and it's not like who's about it. Everybody's life plan is different and unique, and it's their own. My life plan is, I guess my soul is very stubborn and hasn't learned some life lessons along the way. My soul is not very old, kind of young and bumbling. And, and so I assigned myself some life lessons to learn this lifetime, and believe me, some of them are real doozies. I've experienced a lot of pain and torture, and I've experienced loss several times. Be it friends dying in tragic ways. My mother, she was dying since the day I was born. A very dear childhood friend of mine, dying from, the brain tumor didn't kill him, but when they removed it, he had a blood clot, and they removed that, and then he died. And that's all I know on that. Had that going on. And then a friend from high school who died in combat, died in Iraq in '03. He was a really good friend of mine. He was the platoon sergeant when I was in ROTC. Known him since 8th grade. Had a little bit of a crush on him, but not much. I had more of a crush on his friend, who was the platoon leader, and they liked to harass me. That was... high school's an awkward time for everybody. Mine was no different, even though I was a group home kid. But, no, it's weird, I don't want to get into the rest of this shit, because I could talk about it all day, but, the whole pain of, I look at my son on his birthday every year, and I don't remember the bad things as easily as I used to. It used to still be fresh in my mind, but as the years have gone by, I look at him and I'm like, I've watched you grow up another year. And I look at him and he's my beautiful boy. He's my sunshine. That's what I called him when he was a baby, because he always had a smile. He started smiling like a couple weeks after birth, and it was kind of funny because, people said, oh, that's just gas. And I'm like, I don't smile when I'm passing gas. I don't know about anybody else, but I mean, my face gets a little red, and, I get all embarrassed, and I have some pain with it, and my children are the same way. Whenever they're about to fart, they're like, Mommy, I kind of hurt. Then a couple moments pass, and they're like, never mind, and then the other one's like, ew, and they're laughing. So, I mean, And he came to me in my dreams, believe it or not, before he was born. And, at first, before I knew whether or not he was a boy or a girl, he was neutral. His spirit was neutral, because everybody's soul is neutral, I believe. And he came to me in my dreams, and we had a lot of discussions about things. And some things I don't remember, because he told me that I wouldn't remember these things until they happen, which sounds kind of weird. But, I was just like, alright, son. My son has an older soul than I do. My daughter has the oldest soul in this house. Her soul is ancient, and she knows it just a little too well. And, so yeah, my children both have older souls. But my daughter, she's the youngest physically in this house, but she's the oldest spiritually. And I seriously think sometimes she's just like, I'm trying to teach you people some shit, but you won't listen. But, in this lifetime, she's a kid, and she has to learn that. She has to learn how to, her soul has to learn to respect younger souls and realize that we all have roles in this lifetime, and that it's not easy, but to just deal with it. My son, I also call him Monk, because he's very philosophical. My daughter's more of a doomsayer. She told me, that when the world ends, the sun is going to stop coming up every day, and that everyone's going to die. But that it's okay, because then God's going to start everything all over again. And I looked at her and I was like, and when is this going to happen? And she's like, like she doesn't really know and doesn't really care. And I was like, okay. And then, so this has happened before. And she just kind of gave me this look like, duh. And then she grinned, winked at me, and walked away. So, I mean, she's my little doomsayer. My son's my little, she's my little prophet. He's my little philosopher. She's Nostradamus. He's Socrates. I'm just like sitting here like I have so much to learn from my children. It's insane, because my son taught me how to be a parent. Okay, and before he came along, I did not think I would ever have children. So learning about child care and child rearing was, I thought was, beyond me. So I had never changed a baby, fed a baby, held a baby, comforted a baby, gave a baby medicine, tucked a baby in, read baby stories, learned nursery rhymes, except for the ones by Two Live Crew, but those are not suitable for children. I just was completely like, I wasn't anti-kidlet, I was just like, oh, I'm never going to have kids, so who cares? And then my son comes along and I'm like, oh crap. So, my son taught me all those things, by being he was very patient. He was a very patient baby, which sounds very strange. My daughter, on the other hand, she's always been like, let's go, 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 until we crash. And her personality is very, very high strung. And, she's always trying to best her brother. And I love that competitive spirit in her. I think that's great, because it forces me to keep up with her. So, I'm tired. I don't feel like babbling anymore. I think I got it out of my system. So, yeah. Hope everybody has a good Sunday. So, peace, love, and duck face from the Yippie Chick from Hippie Chick Voice, State of Insanity, Country of Chaos. And, yeah.